In this EZDrummer 2 video tutorial, I'm going to show you the advanced search functionality of EZDrummer 2, along with a couple of secrets that will always make you find the perfect beat. Hey everyone, this is Toby and welcome back to another tutorial video about EZDrummer 2. So, like I told it in the introduction already, this video is going to be about the search tab, okay? So the search tab, in my opinion, is a very underestimated feature, okay? Because, throughout this tutorial, I'm going to show you a couple of very interesting secrets that, only a few people actually know. And, I'm also explaining you how the dynamic intensity of the drum groove actually works, because these are dynamically calculated by EZDrummer based on your project, okay? And this also is known by just a few people, and you can really use this to make the best out of your drum selections. So let's get started. The search tab, okay? So in the previous video tutorials, I hope you followed them. We've been talking about preview original tempo, because this button makes all the beats being played back at the original speed they have been recorded at, okay? If you uncheck this button, so if it's gray like right now, it's playing back the beat at the BPM settings you set for your song inside your DAW, okay? So the tempo allows you to change the tempo from normal time to half time or to double time. And it also allows you to convert ternary beats into binary beats. So you can convert a 6/8 beat into a 4/4 beat, for example, or a 3/4 beat into a 4/4 beat, works the same way. Or you can actually change 4/4 beats, so binary beats, into ternary beats. So you can change a 4/4 beat into a 6/8 beat or into a 3/4 beat or 3/4 time beat. And this is very cool, okay? So velocity, all of this, show web shop MIDI. This is just, velocity allows you to change the overall velocity. So when you need something quieter, you can change the velocity before you drag and drop it into your song. And then you have a lower velocity version of what you added. And show web shop MIDI is going to show the entire MIDI library that you didn't yet purchase from Toontrack, okay? So this is just a small recap, because I think I was mentioning this in earlier tutorial videos. And when you click this button, it's getting the latest MIDI files from the internet and shows it to you inside the library. This is cool because when you are looking for something specific and you can't find it inside your MIDI library that you currently own, you can check this button and then you can search all the libraries from Toontrack. And when you find something that fits perfectly to your song, you can think about whether you want to buy this MIDI library or not, okay? So you can see it's still analyzing, and now it finished. And here you can see that now it contains all the library from Toontrack. And whenever there is this little glass over here, I think it's a magnification glass. It looks like I'm not wearing my glasses, which is the problem, okay? So whenever you see one of those, you know that you don't own this particular riff, but you can purchase it. And when you click this button, you can see from which MIDI pack this is from, and you can directly go to the web shop from Toontrack to purchase it, okay? That's it. So let's go back to the original topic. Okay, I just wanted to make a quick recap of these buttons in case you didn't watch my earlier tutorial videos where I was explaining these. So what the search tab is actually nice for is it's searching your entire library based on different filters. And these filters can be set in any order. They are completely independent, so you can set multiple filters per category. You can exclude specific filters from your search results, and this allows you to quickly find the perfect beat out of your entire library for whatever project you're going to write or to create. So this is very important because I'm running a small songwriter business, so I'm creating songs and backing tracks and also movie scores for people that create videos and advertisements and stuff. So people approach me and ask me, hey, can you actually write something that sounds bluesish? Or can you create a happy sounding jazz lick that I can use for my pet videos on YouTube and stuff like that, okay? And if you've seen my other videos on my YouTube channel, you possibly know that I'm just a metalhead technically, and I love rock and metal and stuff like that. And I was studying a lot of music theory in the past 20 years, but it's always nice to be able to filter by genre because you can get very, very nice ideas by using these filters. So when you say you need to write a blues track and you can't really think of a good blues drum lick at the moment, you can just take your entire library, filter by blues, and you can see all the bluesish drum grooves down here in the search results. This is really great, okay? So you can of course filter by library, genre, which is pretty much self-explanatory. Then you have the type of the beat. So it can be an ending or a fill, it's a regular beat, swing beat, percussion, jam track, okay? Or even specials. So specials are not really beats. This is more like a sound effect you can actually add to your drum track. So you can also change, or you can filter by playstyle. So you can say you want to have a count in, a blast beat. Of course, if you're a metalhead, you possibly know what a blast beat is. Double kick, march, polyrhythmic, shuffles, snare rolls and stuff like that. So you can filter when you look for something very, very specific. You can filter it over here. And when you've been watching my recent video about the song creator, you've seen that you can quickly create a song in less than a minute, okay? So you can create an entire drum beat for a complete song in less than 60 seconds. But if you want to refine it, you can use the search tab to actually find count-ins or to find some specials that you can use to further shape your beat that you created. So it's an extremely quick and flexible tool, and it's always nice to have. So the filters are independent, and what's also nice about these filters is that when you select something, let's select blues, but actually before I select blues, let's take a look at the sign, because the sign column shows you the timings of the beat, or not the timings, how it's called. Yeah, actually it's a 2/4 time beat, or you can select 3/4 time beats, and you have a lot of possibilities here without any filter applied. But as soon as I select blues, you can see that most of these types actually are removed. Okay, so let's take a look. And that's it. You can see that when I select the blues category, I only have the possibility to filter by 4/4 time beats, 6/8 time beats, and 12/8 time beats. The reason for this is that the filter functionality from EZDrummer 2 is actually really smart, because if there is no selection available inside a specific filter you have already set, it's going to remove this particular filter. Because otherwise, let's say you would filter for blues and for 7/8, you would have no search results, because there is no beat that belongs to the blues genre and is in a 7/8 time style, okay? So this is really cool. So you can't do selections that lead to 0 search results. And the exclude functionality is also great, because let's say you want to have anything but a 3/4 beat, or let's say a 3/4 time beat, okay? So let's exclude it. And in order to exclude it, you can actually just click on it with the right mouse button, and then this little context menu is opening up, which says exclude. Or you can directly click on this little arrow, which is also opening the same context menu, and then you can exclude a beat. But you can do it for everything. You can do it for the power hand, you can do it for the playstyle, you can do it for the type, libraries and genres, so everything. And this is also very cool, because you can see that, for example, when I select pop rock country, let's use this one. And here on the left side, you can see that there is Action Drums visible. Action Drums is a MIDI library for, drums that belong to movie scores and stuff like that. So when you write a regular song, you usually don't want to have these very intense beats from movie scores, because this contains mostly stuff that is very intense, like, when you have a chasing scene or a very, a high tension scene in a movie, you can use one of those, to get some inspiration for your beats and stuff like that. So the fact that it's still visible after doing my selection means that at least one of these beats is available in the list down here. But I don't want to have action drum beats or movie score beats inside my selection when I write a regular song. So you can exclude it, and it's very nice. So you can see it actually turns red. Okay, which means that everything is shown except the selection that is turned red. Okay, if you want to remove this one, you can either click here, or you can see that whenever you apply a filter or exclude a category, there is an orange indicator coming up above this, above this list. And first it shows you the number of selections you made. So when you have a couple of selections, you can see, no, it's saying 2. No, we have 3. And this is very good because, for example, let's say you did a selection down here at the bottom of the list and you are up here. And at some point, half an hour later, you are filtering for some different drum beats and you're asking yourself why this list is pretty much limited, okay? And I already told you that when you do a selection, EZDrummer is removing everything that leads to an empty result list, okay? So at some point you may ask yourself that, well, the possibilities are pretty much limited, and you didn't notice that this is only caused by you having, still a filter selected at a specific category or at a specific list. So this little indicator shows you that even though you can't see it, this indicator shows you that, hey, there is something going on, you have a filter applied, or you are at least excluding one of the categories. And you can simply remove this one by just clicking on it, and then the filters are gone. So when you have multiple filters, this is also very nice because instead of deselecting all of them, you can just click here and it's completely removed from this specific list, okay? All the different filters do still remain. And when you have a very big selection going on, okay, and you want to remove all of those at once, you can take a look at here, at the total filters label, and on the left side you can see that we have an indicator of 8 total filters. And when you click this one, it removes your entire filters and you will see each and every drum groove you have in your list. So the filter functionality is actually very, very nice if you want to look for something very, very specific, okay? And now let's talk about something just a few people actually figured out. It's that when you go to the right side of total filters, there is a little menu. And if you go over here, you can see that we have an entry that's called visible filter columns. And here, this is the default selection. So this is what EZDrummer is showing you when you install it and use it for the first time. But we have 2 additional columns or filters that we can actually include and show. And they are disabled by default. So we have the instrument and the resolution filters. So let's include instrument and let's include resolution. And this is also very, very nice because instrument, this instrument filter is taking a look into the beat whether a specific instrument is being played. Which means that when you want to search for a drum beat that must contain a kick drum, you can click the kick drum. And now each and every beat here in the results window is containing at least a kick drum stroke, okay? And if you want to say, okay, I'm looking for a beat with a kick drum, with a snare, with an open hi-hat, and with toms, then EZDrummer is just showing you these that contain the kick, the snare, the hi-hat, and the toms. And this is really great when you are looking for a very specific beat and you know that you want to include a specific instrument, you can select it here, okay? On the other hand side, what's also very nice is that, of course, you can exclude something. So when you want to exclude, the toms, right click, exclude, and then EZDrummer is removing each and every result where a tom is being played, okay? So this is really cool if you want to look for something more specific. And the resolution filter works a similar way, but resolution actually means something different in this particular case. So resolution actually means how crowded your drum riff actually is. Okay, so when you have a 1/4 resolution, you have a less crowded drum groove. And then when you have a 1/8 or even a 1/16 resolution riff, you have a more crowded one. Okay, so this allows you to filter the beat by how much, or how much is actually going on. So this is also very cool because, for example, let's say you want to write a jazz song or something, and you are looking for something more gentle. You can filter by 1/4 resolution, and then you will find more slowly played beats. And when you want something very crowded and something very complex for a metal theme or something, you can select the 1/16 resolution, and you will find this as well. Of course, this is not just for binary beats, but also for ternary beats. So we also have a 1/4 triplet, 1/8 triplets, and so on. Okay, so this is very nice. Just a few people know about this filter functionality, and it's very, very cool. You don't have to use it. I mean, you can get very good results with EZDrummer without these filters, but if you want to find the perfect beat, I want you to know that you have even more possibilities than what EZDrummer is showing to you by default. So that's pretty much it about the filters. Let's take a quick look at the result page, because usually the result page is pretty self-explanatory. Okay, so this is the default view, and we have the possibility to select favorites. And when you select favorites, this is something I wanted to show you because I was approached that, people were understanding that they can set beats as favorites, but they don't know where the button show only favorites is located. And technically you have to click the star in the headline, okay? When you click this star over here, you can see that you only have the favorites. So the reason Toontrack did this is, it's actually very simple, because when you have a lot of favorites, you can first say, okay, you want to see favorites only, but the cool thing is that, because you don't have to select the favorites over here, you can only show your favorites and still filter these favorites by library, genre type, and so on. Which means that when you use EZDrummer regularly for quite a long time, you have a huge list of favorites going on, because when you like to work with favorites, in this particular case, you can filter them to only get the right results out of your favorites, which is also very nice. Good. Then we have the name, self-explanatory. The family, where this drum beat comes from, also self-explanatory. The intensity, which is very interesting, because many people believe that the intensity is just showing how intense a beat is. And many people think this is a fixed value that is stored within the recording of the respective drum groove, but it's not true, because this is actually dynamic, okay? So the intensity is calculated by the velocity, by how crowded a drum fill or drum groove actually is. And it's also calculated by the actual play speed of the file. So you possibly already know that all these different samples have been recorded in a very, very specific way, or tempo, okay? So you can see the tempo here on the left side, because Toontrack was very accurate, so they always added it to the specific family. So you can see, okay, this is a 147 BPM riff in the original speed, and you can also see the tempo here on the right side as well, okay? And now the issue is that, for example, let's take something different. Let's take let me have a look. Let's take this one here. So this is a 80 BPM riff, okay? And as you can see, we are currently running at 120 BPM, which means that we will play this riff or this drum groove at a higher speed when we play it back, okay? Okay, so this is the 80 BPM drum groove sped up to 120 BPM. So if we click this preview original tempo button, you can actually see that, of course it's slower, because we are now playing it back in 80 BPM to hear how it should sound like, with the original tempo. Okay, this is cool. So maybe you noticed it already. Take a look at this intensity bar. So technically, the smaller the bar, or the more to the left side this bar is located, you know, the lower the intensity, and the wider it gets, or the wider on the right side it's going to be, the higher the intensity. So this means that technically at 80 BPM we have a fairly low intensity, but if we remove preview original tempo, so we are speeding up the 80 BPM riff to 120 BPM again, you can see that the intensity is going to the right. Do you see it? So when I change it back and forth, and this is very cool because the intensity is dynamically calculated by EZDrummer based on your project speed. So it's always reflecting the intensity of the riff when you use it with your tempo, okay? So on the other hand side, it means that when you say preview original tempo, of course the intensity is not going to be how it sounds like when you use it in your project, as long as your BPM is different than the original play speed. But if you uncheck preview original tempo, it means that the intensity of each and every riff you see in this filter view is going to actually show the real intensity after it has been changed to your tempo, which is also very nice. So a lot of people don't know this, and therefore they don't really bother about the intensity. But when you know it's dynamic, and when you know EZDrummer is calculating this based on your project speed, you know that you can actually reliably use the intensity to judge whether a drum fill or drum groove is I'm missing the word. Jesus. You can judge whether the drum groove is intense or not. Okay, this is what I wanted to say. Sorry. Okay. So, very nice to know. And of course, let's go back one time. So if we go up to this little menu over here again, where we were able to add the columns of our filter section, here you can see that we also can change the columns for the results, for the search results. And here we can include the library, the resolution, and the number of instruments. So let me just quickly check all of them. Right. So you can see that we now have the number of instruments, and this technically is telling you how many different instruments are being played in this particular groove. So when you listen to this groove, there are 6 different instruments, which means that you have, for example, you can have a kick drum, a snare, a hi-hat, a cymbal, and 2 additional toms, which makes a total of 6 different instruments. And by taking a look at this number, you can actually judge how a riff is going to sound like. So when you have a huge number of instruments, for example this one here, let's have a listen. Okay, so when you listen carefully, you were able to hear that we were playing a kick drum, we had a snare, we had an open hi-hat, we had a closed hi-hat, we had 2 different toms, and yeah, we also had a cymbal, which makes a total of 7 different instruments, okay? On the other hand side, if we take a look at this beat, which only contains 2 instruments, I know it because I was listening to this beat already, but as you can possibly imagine, this is only a kick drum and a snare. Okay, so by just taking a look at this number of instruments, you can actually judge, what's going on. And this is also a very nice indicator because, it takes some time to listen through all these different drum grooves. So if you have to analyze each and every one, and let's go down this list again, so you see how many grooves there actually are. And there's even more, okay? Every time I reach the bottom, the list is updating. Okay, let's try to get to the very bottom. So we have every drum groove from EZDrummer. You see, it takes ages. Okay, it doesn't even really stop. Okay, let's just stop over here. So when I scroll upwards, you can see that, the little handle on the right side is almost not moving. So there is tons of different grooves. Tons, really tons of grooves. So actually EZDrummer and the few libraries I already purchased, which is really just a very small amount compared to what you can buy, contains so many grooves that I think I will never use all of them in a lifetime, okay? So when you listen to all of those, it takes some time, okay? And by including these additional result columns, you can actually judge what's going on before you have to listen to a beat. So what's also very cool is the resolution, because if you do not filter by resolution, you can still see, you know, how crowded a beat is going to be when you play it back. And then what's also cool is the library. Whereas the library is not so important, but let's say you are filtering something specific. Oh, that was a bad choice. Let's filter by something specific. Oh, that's also a bad choice. Like this, okay? And you notice that, you know, some beats totally do not fit to your song because maybe you don't like it or something like that. So when you take a look at the library, you see that I don't like this particular beat. It's coming from the EZDrummer 3 library. Then you know the name, and then you can go up here and exclude EZDrummer 3 from the list. And that's it. So you see the same list without the specific library you just unchecked or excluded from your list. And this is very, very cool. And yeah, this is the overall functionality of the search tab. So I know that many people, when they take a look at EZDrummer for the first time, think, yeah, well, I can set a couple of filters and filter by genre. No, you can do way, way more than this. Okay, so I hope this is going to help you finding the perfect beat in a quicker way than you used to do in the past. And, you know, this is possibly going to speed up your workflow a lot when you write a lot of different songs and stuff like that. So in case you found this helpful, I would really be happy if you could leave me a comment in the comment section below. If you have questions, don't hesitate to ask, and make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more of these videos, okay? And then we are going to see us in the next EZDrummer 2 tutorial. Bye bye.